What's happening, people? This is the Fight Week Show. I'm Ola, and I've come to give you an MMA news update. We we just had the news about Game Bread. Um, yeah, Game Bread is fighting Colby. It looks like the deal is finally been done. It's all finalized, and these two are gonna be they're gonna be squaring up. These two are gonna be getting to it. Um, Thank you very much for rolling in right now for joining us. Salute to you lot. I appreciate you. If you're new, please hit the uh, the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button. Salute to Carl Rossi, my brother. Um, yeah, man. Respect for joining us. Yeah, just wanted to talk about these two on the screen. Um, I mean, you look at Colby. Colby has been wanting Masvidal for the longest. He's been after Masvidal. These two, they don't like each other. These two used to live together, do not like each other one bit. And for me, Masvidal getting those two back-to-back fights with Usman kind of made him feel a certain way. It made him feel a type of way, And when you're professional in the way that Kobe is, because like him or loathe him, like him or dislike him, that guy is a proper professional, and he can back his talk. He can fight, right? And for me, I just think this fight would have been better if probably had the element of the Ultimate Fighter to it. A little bit like what Brian Ortega and Volkanovski did. I think these two would have been it would have been really, really heated between these two. They would have made the show a little bit better. But on the whole, I don't mind watching this fight. This is one of the fights that I'm actually excited that has been put together. These two can actually sort their beef out. I don't know what happens to Masvidal if he loses this fight. Does his stock go down? I don't know. Do you think so? I personally don't think so. I don't think his stock goes down. Um, as for Kobe is going to maintain his stock. He can talk that talk, and when he does his interview, everybody wants to watch it. So for me, Kobe is the one that I feel is gonna, that is gonna talk that talk right there. Um, Carl Rossi just said Kobe is seriously a good fighter. Give Kamaru a damn good running in the second fight. I love Jorge, but I think Kobe wins this one. I agree with you. When you look at what Kobe brings to the table, it brings cardio, it brings pressure, it brings everything, which was to my point when Kobe was talking about Chimaev, and I'm like, yeah, I like Chimaev a lot. I like him a lot. I like what he brings to the table, but is he ready to face somebody with the skill set of Kobe, somebody that has everything that Kobe has? Because I think Kobe is better than Masvidal in a number of different ways. He has way more toolbox, tool in the toolbox to win the fight. So this is why I'm going to be picking Kobe. That's my early prediction. I'm definitely picking Kobe uh, for this fight. Another fight that's on that card is Dustin versus Knight. I think Dustin versus Knight. It's a good fight. It's a good fight. Dustin going to 170. If once he goes there, I almost prefer him to stay there because there's a lot more competition at 170 for him. Um, Even a future potential fight with Masvidal wouldn't go amiss. So these guys used to train in the same gym as well. So that's another fight that I wouldn't mind going to watch. I like Dustin. Um, Very, very composed. Put the way he carries himself. His press conferences aren't always the most exciting to watch, but he carries himself in a certain manner that it doesn't feel like it has to go down low, you know, to sell pay-per-views, especially having those two fights with Connor. That's definitely boosted his bank account. Like Colby would say, that made his bank account great again, times two. You know, made his bank account great again. So yeah, um, you know, Dustin versus Nate. I don't know how to call that fight because I don't know how Dustin is going to react to carrying the extra 15 pounds that he has to carry into 170 to you know to because Nate is a cardio machine. So if you can carry that 15 pound properly, the, the way I'm looking at it, Nate will probably call for a 5 rounder like he's been doing. So, you know, if it calls for a 5 rounder and you ain't got the cardio to carry that extra 15 pounds, you're in deep trouble. You're in deep trouble. People, you know, fighters that actually leave at 170, like Leon Edwards. Look at the last 15 seconds of the fight. You know, if you're not there, if you're not together, throughout the duration of the fight with Nate, um, Nate can get the better of you. He's just one of those guys. So you know, I would it'll be interesting to watch. Definitely be interesting to watch. Um, you know, Carlos just said, what a card if them fights are on it. Yeah, they're on the same card. This card has been booked for UFC 272 March 5th. Game Bread Colby, Dustin Knight. So as far as we know, those fights are on that card. Another fight that's not been moved to April because Volkanovski cannot fight. Volkanovski cannot fight Max Holloway no more. So that fight is not been moved to UFC 273, and he will be fighting the Korean Zombie. Volkanovski and the Korean Zombie are going to be getting into it. The last person to beat Korean Zombie, I believe, was Brian Ortega. I think that's why Korean Zombie has got this opportunity. For me, I actually really believe the winner between Calvin Keita and Giga Chikadze should really be seeing Volkanovski, but I can understand why they've given this fight to the Korean Zombie. The Korean Zombie is, I mean, it's a top fighter, elite fighter. I like the way he fights. I like everything he brings to you know into the octagon. I like his style, and you know he's gonna ask questions of Volkanovski. I just think Volkanovski, for me, for my money, for my pound, is just a speck above the rest at the moment. The way he's putting these fighters away. I mean, nobody the what he you know the way he beat Holloway. People might say the second fight that Holloway won it. Um, you know that's exactly why Holloway had another bite at the cherry until the injury that's just made him pull out of the fight. So um, I like the fight. You know, um, I just hope Korean Zombie don't pull out because obviously it's going to affect the preparations of Volkanovski, um, you know, to get this fight on. And another fight that's booked for the same card is Piotr Yan versus Aljamain Sterling. Those two guys, interim champion Yan, Aljamain Sterling, paper champion as they call him, undisputed champion. If you really want to use the real term. Um, we know what happened in their last fight when these two bumped head, you know, illegal strike from Peter Yan. And Sterling ain't fought no one since. You know, I've never seen someone milk the championship the way Sterling has been milking this championship. You know, he took the opportunity to go and have all these different surgeries that's been piling up and waiting on him. And he's been claiming he's been healing, he's been doing this, he's been doing that. But I feel like, you know, he should have been back in there already. Like Yan has been there already and won um, 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 the interim championship. So the quicker Sterling gets this whole situation off his back, the better, because the fans ain't really showing him the kind of respect that he deserves as a champion. I mean, go out there, either, you know, get your ass kicked or or beat Peter Yan for real, and let everybody know that you're the undisputed champion. I don't see it. I don't think he can beat Yan. Based on the first fight that I saw, Yan was whooping his ass. So I don't think he can beat Yan. And now Sterling is come out claiming that Peter Yan isn't vaccinated, so he won't be able to fight in March. And they're trying to push it into to the April card. But I don't know how you can really get vaccinated in if you're not vaccinated in March, you can get all the vaccination you need in April, a month later. I don't see that happening. So that really, I mean, Yan really needs to get a move on now if he's to get jabbed and get this fight going down. Because if it's going to happen in Madison Square Garden, especially in New York, they don't play that game down there. Everybody's got to be jabbed in that part of the world. So they don't play that game at all. But yeah, as soon as they figured it out, we'll see. We'll see what happens next. Another fight that's going down on the 19th of February is Joaquin Buckley and Abdul Razak Alhassan. This fight is going to be going down on the 19th on the 19th. I think that's a fight night card. That's a fight night event, and that fight is going to be going down for that one. One more fight to touch on. This is a fight for this weekend. Michel Pereira was supposed to be fighting Salikov. Salikov is now out, and Michel Pereira will now be fighting Andre Fialo. I think that's how you call it. Yeah, at UFC Vegas this weekend. So Michel Pereira is a very, very exciting fighter. He's a fighter that I like to watch. It comes up with all kinds of off-key craziness. The last time I saw him, he done a suplex or kind of backflip into a mount. How do you do a backflip into a mount? I don't know how this guy doesn't even know what he's gonna do, when he's going to do it. Very, very exciting fighter to watch, Michel Pereira. And yeah, he's one that I'm definitely looking forward to after being starved of UFC for the last 4 weeks, 5 weeks. So I'm definitely happy that the fight game is back. We're in fight week right now, and I love what's going on with all the fights that's being put together by the UFC. The last one on the list is this one right here. Miesha Tate fighting Lauren Murphy. Lauren Murphy, as we know, had a chance with Valentina Shevchenko. Valentina Shevchenko did what Valentina Shevchenko was supposed to do. She just went out there and dominated Lauren Murphy. And I think Miesha Tate, she wants to stab at the championship because she lost her fight in the bantamweight division. She lost her fight down there, and she wants to stab at 125 and see if she can be successful in that division. And the quickest way to get to the champion is fighting the last person the champion just beat. And it is the same treatment, is the same kind of logic with this Korean zombie fight now being booked to fight Alexander Volkanovski. So, Miesha Tate is pulled the fast one here. Well, I wouldn't say pull the fast one, but she's dropped down a division, and she's going to fight the last #1 contender to fight the champion. And if she wins and she's able to get past Lauren Murphy, I can almost guarantee, I can almost assure you that the UFC is going to be making the fight between Valentina Shevchenko and Miesha Tate. So that's your news for today. And until the next video, hasta la vista, salute. Thank you.